So why are we hosting it here at Google, and why am I going to give you a little quick few words of perspective from my point of view? Well, as Dominic quite rightly said, I spent 20-odd years in TV before I saw the light, and I came across to that business that does no evil called Google. And I thought I knew about complexity. I thought I knew about change. But change for me was the launch of a new multi-channel TV station. You know, that was amazing. In fact, I was there just at the very beginning when Channel 4 launched, and I mean, my God, the industry was almost paralyzed because of this. You know, there's 14 TV sales houses, and we had to deal with Channel 4. People had to deal with Channel 4. It was a nightmare. Change. People couldn't deal with it. What a complex business we had. Then I came to Google, and I realized I knew nothing about change. I knew nothing about complexity, and probably nothing about innovation, because when you go to a place like Google, you realize that change is constant, and innovation is constant, and complexity and disruption is part of your everyday business. And it's that notion that Google perhaps has been disruptive, that Google has been part of the increased complexity of this industry that I just want to touch on. The fact is that, you know, we're probably at the slowest point of change that we're going to see in many years, and that change is only going to accelerate and complexity is only going to increase. Therefore, we need to find the right way through that, and I think one of the ways through that is the way that media agencies can simplify so much of this complexity. You may think that Google hasn't always been agency friendly. You might think that there are still people out there that would like that to be the truth and would like to maintain that as the truth. But the reality is, whilst Google has a breadth of clients greater than probably any other media owner, we also have a breadth of agencies, specialists, media, network agencies, that breadth is probably greater than any other media owner as well. And as a result, you know, we are a reasonably large media owner in our own right here in the UK. And actually, it is the agency channel and it is the agency business that creates our single greatest channel of business. So actually, all the myths around Google not wanting to work with agencies is totally false. It also says it on my business card, so of course I have to say that. And that actually growing our agency business and working with the agencies to decomplexify, if that is a word. And anyway, it doesn't matter if it's not a word, because when you work for an American company, you can just make up words. You know, anyone who works with Americans, you know, they just make up a word and it becomes the truth. So decomplexifying, the challenge for media agencies is the new buzzword. But from you think about it, from whether it be from search to YouTube, from double-click platforms to Google Analytics, or from our insight tools through to the Squared training, digital Squared training initiative, where we put through multiple of your guys through face-to-face training or online training. This year, including our online program, be about 4,000 people we'll put through a training program, which launched in conjunction with the IPA. That is all part of trying to help the industry to understand digital and to decomplexify, that new word I created, the way that agencies work, so they can do the best job for their clients. Because the fact is, the internet has transformed both the ad industry and the UK economy. I don't think that's irrefutable. And without the risk of sounding like Tim Lefroy, you know, the fact is, it is about the ad industry is around about £100 billion business to the economy, about 7% of GDP. For every pound spent, £6 goes into the economy. This is true value. This is true value I don't think is necessarily picked up on a frequent enough basis. And the fact that, you know, what we need to do is simplify our language. I think the greatest complexity in our business is not the fact that there are so many new things to be considered, and we'll debate that at length today, but the digital fellows in agencies, the digital fellows at places like mine, speak in acronyms on a permanent basis that allows Tess and all the ThinkBox guys to speak in really plain language and be really simple and make the industry sound very simple. It is very simple. It is about connecting the right consumer connecting your brand with the right consumer at the right time in the right place. And every part of media plays that role. And we have to find the right language to simplify that. I think language is one of the biggest tools we have in our armory to change that. And not to be scared of change and not to be scared of innovation. So whether you're dealing actually with a specialist agency, whether you're dealing with an integrated networked agency, the focus has got to be on spending your marketing dollars in the most marketing pounds, sorry, in the most effective and efficient way across all platforms that sit in media. And I think what's important that we come out of today with is that advertisers and agencies truly value that connection between consumer and advertiser. And it's that value that we see in digital, it's that value we see through many IPA effectiveness awards that TV has been party to winning. It's that value that all media can now add to any marketing campaign. But we've got to get to a point, but now we can measure more than we've ever been able to before. We've got to get to a point where marketing spend is an always-on discipline. We've got to get it so that we're constantly believing that we can turn spend into value, into results, into business growth for our advertisers. We know that's true. We've seen so many examples where that's true. We've just got to be more bold in using the correct language to do that. And I think that if we can use the right language to our advertisers, right at the top of the funnel of the advertisers, at the CEOs and CMOs, and demystify and decomplexify the language we use, then we will be much more successful in driving the value of media. I think that's enough from me. I've got 1.5 minutes to go, so that's a first for me to shut up before my time's up. I'll hand back to Dominic, and then I'll see you later on the panel. Thanks so much for being here.